Hello again, everybody. I am back. This is the second bonus episode today. Welcome to this Fat Girl Life. I am your host, Kimberly Plesia, back with you again. And we have two more episodes here in a little bit. Actually, no, three, because we have an episode of My Fat Perspective coming up. I have another episode of this Fat Girl Life coming up. And we have an episode of Rope with Hope coming up. So I am going to be online with y'all for such a long time and happy Halloween, everybody. So, I am joined today by personal trainer and coach Larissa Nicole. Hey, Larissa, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing so well, thank you. How are
Good,
you
good.
doing?
I am doing very well. It's been a good day. A
Good.
little bit of pain, but pretty relaxing.
Oh, so good to hear.
Well, guys, before we jump into things, as always, I live on caffeine. Coffee is my friend. If this broadcast has touched you in any way, if it has helped you, if it has brought things to light, and you want to be a part of this, you want to help support what I do, please go to buymeacoffee.com/, this fat girl life. You guys, you could buy me a coffee for $5. Five. One, two, three, four, five. That's cheaper than Starbucks. You can't get anything there for less than five, that price. So go buy me a
True.
coffee and help support what I do. I would appreciate it. So today we are talking about such a wonderful topic. We're going to talk about loving yourself. But loving yourself isn't just loving your body. It's a whole process. So we're talking about loving yourself body and soul because you really to love one you got to love the other. That they tie together so well. And we're also going to talk about advocating for yourself, especially in the medical field. And I'm actually going to, relate it to some stuff that I've been dealing with personally because, you guys know I'm an open book. I share everything here. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, Larissa, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself?
Yes, thank you so much. Hi everyone. I am Larissa Nicole. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach. And what I do is I help women who are trapped in that yo yo dieting cycle and love food break out of diet culture and dieting in general, enjoy really good food again, and build a balanced, sustainable routine that allows them to feel like the strongest version of themselves, both inside and out. And so that comes with movement, that comes with eating good food, that comes with practicing self care, that comes with healing your relationship with food and with your body and with yourself in general. So I help you through all of that so that you can live a more fulfilled life.
I love that. But I love that you actually really kind of focus on eating good food. People who love food. I am a foodie. I
I'm a huge
oh,
foodie.
and I have those moments where I know what I am eating is not beneficial to my body in any way, shape, or form. We just went to Vegas a couple weeks ago.
Oh, so
Went to
good.
a restaurant there called the Heart Attack Grill.
I need to go. You
Oh,
got to
it's
tell me what you ordered.
um the double pipe bypass burger,
Oh my gosh.
which it's um a double burger with chili and cheese and bacon.
Oh, oh.
And then my husband and I got flatliner fries to share, which is chili cheese fries.
I love the marketing though. That's
Oh yeah,
amazing.
everything is medical. When you walk in, they put a medical gown on you.
Oh my God, too
So
funny.
you have that. Like they do shots that are in syringes. The wine comes in an IV bag.
Oh my gosh, I would be so down to go
Oh,
there.
it is amazing, and the food is so good. It really,
Yeah.
really is.
hmm
Oh, and so
And for me too, is like food is so much more than just fuel. And because I come from like a nutrition background, it gets kind of muddled sometimes, whereas people tend to think that they're only eating to look a certain way or achieve a certain health goal. But for me, that's never been the case. Like I was raised in a very Italian family, and so we had pasta and bread and cheese and
Mhm.
pizza and tiramisu and cannolis and all of the Italian foods.
Why have I not been invited to your house?
Oh, you're gonna come over now.
I-
We'd
Road
love to have you.
trip.
Yeah, for sure. And so for me, like food has always been a huge part of my culture and a part of my upbringing. And so in like throughout my journey too, it's always been a huge like value piece for me to always have good food around,
Mhm.
no matter what my goals are in life. And so that's so great that you feel the same way
And
because
oh
food is so
yeah,
so much more than that.
because in our house, food, it's an experience.
It
My
is
husband and I actually run a food review blog.
amazing.
And we're turning it in the process of turning it into a podcast where we actually, review different foods and, these restaurants, we talk about the accessibility, for
Hmm.
different body types, about all of
Yep.
that.
Yep.
But food is an experience, but it also,
Mhm.
like, that's one of the ways that I show my love for people is the
Me
food
too.
that I cook. So,
Totally.
like, we were just planning a meal. We call it Friendsgiving. We have
Love it.
Thanksgiving and then we have Friendsgiving
Yeah.
where we
Yeah.
have, all of our friends come over. And I'm going down the menu. I'm like, okay, we need the Cajun turkey. We need the collard greens. We need, just this whole menu.
I'm coming over.
Oh, please come over.
That
Please.
sounds phenomenal.
We,
Yeah, because food is something that you enjoy surrounded by friends and family and people that you love, and it is an experience. It's something that when especially when you make it from the heart too. It's an
mhm.
exchange of energy, and it's like a an offer of like kindness and of just of yourself in some way. And it's just something that I've struggled with a lot in my journey, and I feel like a lot of the women that I work with too is that they're all foodies. They love food, but because of diet culture and the media and society and all of the expectations put on them, it's become this really twisted and skewed relationship with food where they love it so much but they feel like they can't have it or can't enjoy it. um,
Exactly.
and
It becomes very disordered. And I don't
yeah.
know if you can see the comments on the bottom of the screen.
There will be plenty. I see
That's
it.
actually my husband
I
talking
love
right
it.
now. So
Awesome.
he's
Good,
down with you
good.
coming over. I,
Beautiful.
but I see that so often is we develop this very disordered,
Relationship with food.
unhealthy
Yeah.
relationship to food
Yeah.
because of diet culture and
Yeah.
of societal pressure.
Yeah.
We are given that we are supposed to look a certain way.
Yeah.
So food becomes an enemy
Yeah. Exactly.
and it becomes the bad guy
Yeah.
because we're denying ourselves basically.
Yeah, and it almost begs the question of what really is healthy, because when people are trying to get healthy by doing unhealthy, disordered things, then really are you really pursuing health here by falling victim to a lot of like some of the most unhealthy patterns and behaviors that you can possibly do, like starving yourself, right? Like avoiding food. That was something that a lot of my clients deal with, and that I used to do as well, back in the day when I kind of was falling victim to all of the diets and the trends and all of the fads out there.
Mhm.
And you start to really wonder, it's like what version of health am I really pursuing? Is like this version of health in the media that says like you can't eat this and this is bad for you and this is junk food and you shouldn't have this. So you kind of end up not nourishing your body at all.
And I
And
think
so
that's where that relationship with your soul comes
mhm,
into play because
mhm,
when we go through that phase of we're denying ourselves, we have this disordered, unhealthy relationship.
yeah,
Then, when we fail on that diet, we turn around and beat ourselves up,
yeah, we blame
not realizing
ourselves.
that diet set us up to fail to begin with.
Exactly,
That we are set up.
exactly.
And I actually had this conversation earlier today about how diet culture really sets us up to fail.
Oh,
And the
100%.
reason that that happens, it's all about money.
It's a $74.6 billion industry. So they know
And
what they're
that's
doing.
they do. And that's where people are missing the point. Is
Yeah,
you subscribe to these diets and yes, there are some good things that can come out of it,
yeah,
but when you are living your entire life
In
around this
fear of,
diet
yeah, yeah,
and in fear of failing the diet,
yeah,
you're going to mess up. It's
yep,
going to happen. None
100%.
of us are perfect. None
Yep,
of us have arrived.
yep,
You're gonna fail. You're gonna
100%.
have that cheat day,
Yeah,
and
and because
then
they
you're
don't
gonna
set you
beat
up for like
yourself up.
long-term success either. They don't set you up
No,
for lasting success. All of the
it's
stuff is short, temporary, quick fix.
instantaneous.
Yeah, you're gonna like lose 7 pounds in 7 days. And maybe you do, like maybe you follow it verbatim and it gives you the results that you want. But after those 7 days, do you really want to starve yourself for longer than that? No. So then you start eating again and you realize that the pounds start creeping on and oh, you're back where you started. Why? Because the diet isn't actually teaching you fundamental like nutrition techniques or how to care for yourself or that you don't need to lose weight to begin with. maybe
Please say
maybe
that
try that.
louder for the people in the back. Please say that louder for the people in the back
Yeah,
because
the diet
that's what
industry
it is.
doesn't set you up for success at all. It wants to keep you dependent on their like schemes and their the whatever like new thing that they've got up their sleeve because
Yeah.
they thrive, they profit off of it,
Level one
right?
didn't work, so let's try level two for you. It's only
Exactly.
going to cost you $100 more.
Exactly, exactly. But then once you start
Mhm.
learning that like all of this is kind of a construct and that eating yourself is actually I mean eating food for yourself is actually a great thing and enjoying food and nourishing your body and being able
Mhm.
to just have balance and working on your relationship with food and with yourself and maybe realizing that there's nothing that you need to change about yourself at all. Once you get to that point, the diet industry doesn't have a hold on you anymore. They don't have anything
Exactly.
to pick at. And that's something that I
Exactly.
went through in my journey. And what I try my best as a coach to teach my clients as well is that they show up asking me to help them achieve a certain aesthetic goal or get to a certain body weight. And then halfway through, they realize that they don't even want to reach that goal anymore and that they're
Yeah,
so much happier and feeling well fed and they're well rested. They have more energy, they're building muscle, they feel strong, and they don't even care what they look like anymore because they actually enjoy their life. And that's what it's all
exactly.
about is that you really want to, at the end of the day, be able to wake up every morning and feel really excited and enjoy your life and know that the food that you're eating is nourishing you and that you're choosing activities that you want to do genuinely and not just because Kim Kardashian did that and lost 25 pounds.
Well, and a comment that was made in my previous episode this morning, we were talking about, the if you really need to lose weight.
Yeah.
And the question that was posed was, is your body stopping you from doing what you want to do? If the
Mm-hmm.
answer is yes,
Yeah.
then yeah, you need to look at ways to decrease your weight. Not saying subscribe to a Atkins Weight Watchers diet or something,
Yeah, in a very
but
sustainable and like you got to be patient
mhm,
with it too, right? It's going to
exactly,
be a long haul, but if it's stopping you from doing what you want to do, absolutely. You want to ultimately find things that allow you to do what you want to do. So if your body is that one thing stopping you, then the first thing that I would say is absolutely look into ways that you can start working with your body instead of against it, right?
hmm
And that does not come down with a diet because a diet is just going to kind of keep you in that cyclical routine.
exactly. And the thing is, and people don't think about this when it comes to any type of weight loss, is you did not get to the size that you are overnight.
Exactly.
Therefore, you are not going to get to a size. I will not get to a size 5 overnight.
Yep.
I don't care how many surgeries they may ever do on me. I'm not going to get there overnight because it took
Exactly.
45 years for me
Yep.
to get where my body is.
Yeah.
Now, I
It
am
is a
in a
long
place
haul.
where I love my body. Do I love some of the creaks and stuff like that? No.
Yep.
But I'm 45. I'm
Yep.
I'm middle aged.
Yep.
But that kind of leads into our other topic of advocating for yourself and
Yes.
advocating for your body.
Yes.
And this
Absolutely.
is where I'm going to actually share some stuff that I've been dealing with.
Yeah.
About 3.5 weeks ago or so, I wasn't doing anything fancy, was sitting here like I am right now, got up, and every time I get up from a sitting position, my knees pop. my ankles pop, my hips pop. Again, I'm middle aged.
Yep.
I sound like a box of Rice Krispies when I move. Snap, crackle, pop
I
all
love
over
that.
this place.
Yeah, but normally it's just like the
It
everyday thing
pops
for
and
you.
it goes away. And
Yep.
yeah, this pop was different.
Mm,
I had a pop in my right knee that was exceedingly painful. And I kind of figured, okay, I've had painful pops before. It'll pop back in and I'll be fine.
yeah.
That didn't happen. And it got worse and worse. It got to the point where I couldn't bear weight on it.
Mm,
Or I could, but it was very
painful.
unstable.
Yeah.
And it finally got to a point where I was out on the back porch with my husband and I almost lost my balance. My knee almost gave out. I was crying because of the pain. And because I have had instances dealing with doctors and fat phobia, which is a very real thing,
Yep. Hmm.
my fear was I'm going to go to the ER and they're just going to say lose weight and you'll be fine.
Yep.
And so I was just sucking it up and pushing through the pain,
Yep.
which could have done a lot of damage.
Yeah.
My husband finally was like, look, Kim, I get where you're at. I know what you're thinking, but
You
you
gotta
can't
find
function.
someone. Yeah, you gotta find
We've got to
someone.
do something.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I was like, okay, let's go to the ER. I've got to go.
Yeah.
So we went to the ER. Thank God I had this amazing ER doc who not once mentioned anything about weight.
Yep.
Came in the room. He's like, okay, what's going on? Okay, we need to do these x-rays. But before we even think about getting you into x-ray, let's get you out of pain.
Mm.
And took care of things. Came back with the results. I've strained a ligament in my knee. He's like, you're going to have to see an orthopedic surgeon. They're probably going to want to do an MRI. These are probably going to be your options. Cortisone
Hmm.
injections, surgery. This is what you're looking at. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, if I have to do this, I already know an orthopedic surgeon. I know that he is not fat phobic. I'm going to this specific orthopedic surgeon.
100%.
So
Yeah.
call my primary. I'm like, look, this is what happened. This is who they're referring me to. I want a referral to this other doctor. My
Yeah.
primary was like, let me look over the records. I'll get back to you, let you know if I agree with the assessment.
Yep.
By the end of the day, okay, the referral's in with this specific doctor that you want. Let's get you seen. Let's get this taken care of.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you want to feel safe and secure under somebody's care and not judged,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Well, fast forward to the 18th of this month. I going in for my physical. Get out of the car, getting ready to step up off, onto the curb.
Hmm.
Knee gives out completely, 100%. I fall hard on very hard, cold cement.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was fun.
That sounds rough. How did
um,
you deal?
well, they did X-rays to make sure there was no additional damage.
Yeah.
Thank God there's none. The only the extra damage that I have though now, I have nerve pain. I have nerve
Right.
damage actually in the leg
Right.
that all this is going on in.
Yeah.
So the pain from that I had perfectly managed. No more management. It's
Right.
like from the beginning of that experience. So now I've got nerve
Wow.
pain, I've got knee pain, and I have massive abdominal swelling
Yeah.
because I bruised the muscles all the way through and subcutaneously.
Hmm.
So now there's all this extra pain, and I'm again getting to that point where I ended up having to go back to the ER because the swelling was so bad.
Hmm.
My stomach to the touch was rock hard almost.
Yeah.
We're worried about internal bleeding, free fluids, something of that
Yep.
nature. Thank
And
God,
doesn't that
still
put
none.
into perspective your health and your body and just appreciate the things that you have while you
Mhm.
have it?
Oh,
Because when it's
definitely.
gone and when it's taken away from you, I think that that's really what puts like that's what changed my perspective of health was when my health was taken away from me. My mobility was taken away from me. For you too, like you got your nerve pain under control and to have that ripped out from under
Mhm.
you and now you're back to feeling that searing debilitating nerve pain and the heat and the it almost feels like your leg is on fire when you're in that
Oh,
type of pain.
I never knew that your nerve endings ended in your big toe
Yep,
until I went
it's
through
all
all of
over.
it. And it's
It's
like
the worst.
those cartoon images where the toe gets
Like
that big
yeah.
and is
Yeah, that's
pounding.
what it feels like.
It does. That's the
Absolutely.
best way to describe it. And I'm so thrilled that tomorrow actually is my appointment with the
Mhm.
orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
And we've already got it set up that I'm going to go in and speak with him and flat out say, look, until this knee pain started, I had all the rest of this under control.
Yeah.
We need to fix this because what they have me on now is not doing it.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
not, it was great before the knee issue.
Yeah.
Let's fix this. And
Yeah.
I have, there are a lot of times that, when I do go to doctors, I'm very nervous because I don't know what the experience is going to be. I don't have that feeling
Mhm.
because of the fact that I know how this doctor has treated other people I know that are
Yeah.
people of size,
Yeah.
that are in larger
Absolutely.
bodies. So
Yeah.
I know already he is not a fat phobic doctor.
Yeah.
He treats
And you
the
can trust
injury.
them. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like as much as a doctor can give you the medical diagnoses for whatever your ailment is, you are the person who shows up in your body every single day. And so you know when something's wrong, when something doesn't feel right, when things need to be investigated further, right? We know our bodies better than anybody else, no matter what any doctor can say.
Hmm.
And so when a doctor projects those feelings onto you because of their fears or societal beliefs about women who are fat, right? When they think that because you are of a bigger size, that ultimately that's the reason why you have that medical issue or that
Hmm.
ailment, that's on them because you know that there's something bigger to be investigated, right? And you
Exactly.
have to advocate for that. You can't give up
Exactly.
because there are so many people, so many doctors out there. Speaking from experience too, is I was very overweight as a child, and naturally because of my Italian upbringing, I ate food in abundance, and that was the way that I lived my life. And so when I had ailments and injuries and things that I would go to the doctor for, they would tell me that I needed to lose weight. For example, one of the ones that was my biggest diagnosis, I had atrial septal defect. It's a hole in your heart, in
Hmm.
the left aorta, that basically whenever we're born as babies, it closes over within like the first 7 days of being born. Mine never closed over. And so it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it caused a lot of cardiac issues. So lots of pains in my chest, a lot of like heavy breathing. I couldn't keep up with people in sports. Naturally, it was actually causing me to gain weight because I just couldn't be active either.
Right.
And so I would go to the doctor, and we had to go to for 7 different appointments and 7 different tests throughout years before somebody came back and told me that there was a bigger issue. They always chalked it up to anxiety or that I was overweight. They had told me that I needed to see a personal trainer, that I needed to see a nutritionist. They were dancing around the reality, which was that it wasn't actually my weight, which was the problem. There was something deeper that was the problem. And it
And
was
that deeper
contributing to
thing
my
was
weight gain.
contributing to the weight.
100%. Yeah. And it wasn't until I had to advocate for myself as a child who was scared and who didn't know and had to talk to adults who seemed to know what they were doing. And for some reason I knew deep down, I was like, I don't know what else to say. I can't convince you that it's something bigger, but I know for a fact that it's not stress.
And
as a
I'm,
thir- as a 13-year-old, how much stress can I possibly be under?
but you hit the nail on the head with what you just said. You're going to somebody who is supposed to know.
Yeah.
You know, when we make these appointments with whatever doctor,
Yeah.
we are making these appointments with the expectation
Yeah.
that this person has been fully trained
Yeah.
and they know what they're talking about. They're the professional.
Yeah. And we'll still give you the respect that they give every single person,
And
right?
that
There's
doesn't
no
happen.
preferential treatment. There's no like underlying judgment. There's no like projections of their own like fears and emotions and beliefs. But that happens more often than we'd like to admit.
It does. It does. And I think part of what really encouraged me, like, and I got to a point where had started advocating for myself, but it wasn't until I read an article on Facebook. Love my Facebook. But it was about a woman who was plus size,
Hmm.
went to the doctor, and they wanted to get her weight. And she looked at it and said, "Why? I'm not here for a weight issue.
Hmm.
I am here for this issue. If this skinny person,"
Yeah,
pointing
that
to her
doesn't.
friend that was there with her, "was here for the same issue, would you take their weight? Or would you just go in and deal with the issue?"
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
wasn't an issue that had anything to do with weight.
Yeah.
She had an injury in her wrist. What are you going to
Wow.
say to lose weight for an injury in your wrist?
Yeah, exactly.
But she actually was willing to advocate for herself in such a way that she refused to let them take her weight.
Well done.
I I read
Well
that and I'm
done.
like, you know what? If she could do it, I could do it.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and that really was very encouraging. Now, yes, I am not there yet where I am the big advocate that I should be at all times. I still have those fears, and
Yeah,
it's going to take work
it's
on
very
my part to
real.
get past that. But
100%.
I also know, and that's why I was willing to go back to the ER a second time, that especially with an injury like this, if I don't get the medical treatment I need, it will get worse.
Yeah. And it all ties back in with that statement that you said earlier, is that is your body preventing you or supporting you with doing the things that you love,
Hmm.
right? And if it's going to get worse, then it's going to prevent you from doing the things that you love. So that's
Exactly.
why you need to advocate for yourself so that you can start getting back to doing those things, right? And
And
that's truly what health is all about, right?
exactly. And you guys, advocating for yourself is not just in the medical field.
No.
We as women, as humans, because
Yeah.
men need to do the same damn thing,
Hmm.
we need to advocate for ourselves in so many different areas of our life,
Yeah.
not just with your physical health,
Yeah.
with your mental well being.
Hmm.
That is
Hmm.
huge
Yes.
that you advocate for yourself in the mental realm. You
Yeah.
need to advocate for yourself in relationships with boundaries, establishing
Yes.
boundaries and
Yes.
advocating that those boundaries need to be respected. In
Oh, I love this.
fashion,
This is so
we,
my jam. Yes, keep going, Kim.
you know, you need to advocate for clothing
Yeah.
that is sustainable
Yeah.
and worthy of you. I
Yes.
hate
Yes.
that, I cannot walk into whatever store I want and buy something right off the rack and it's going to fit me amazingly.
Yep.
But I have also gotten to a point where if I cannot wear the clothing that you are selling,
I'm not going to
my
squeeze
money
myself
will
into
not,
that.
no, I
Exactly.
won't put my money there. If I
Exactly.
cannot shop there, it's one thing if I'm going and shopping for my husband. Obviously, I'm not shopping for anything for myself. So, yes, I'll put my money there. But there are so many stores, and I'm going to use Old Navy as the example.
Yeah, throw them under the bus.
Old Navy just came out with their plus size line
Yeah.
that goes
Not
up
good enough.
to a size 30. I have not been in Old Navy personally because of the fact that they've never carried my size. Why am I going to go in there and shop?
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
their size 30, which should be a 4X, 4 to 5X,
Yeah.
fits a 3X.
For sure, because
It
sizes
is,
are also a construct, right?
it
You
is.
can go
It's
into
because of the
five
print
different
model.
stores and get the same size in five different stores and try them all on, and they're all going to fit differently.
Exactly. Exactly. So we need to be advocating for ourselves and for our bodies to be able
Yeah.
to have these things, to be
Because
able to go into restaurants.
when did it become when did like this happen where we actually are the least important and we care more about what doctors and what the people who make the clothes and what our friends and what other people think about our bodies and about ourselves? It should have always been and still is about us, right? We're advocating for
Mhm.
us, so we choose the clothes that we want to wear, we choose the relationships we want to have, we choose the type of movements that we want to do and the foods that we want to eat and all of it, right? We can choose. We have the power, but we're giving that power
Exactly.
to other people, right? We're giving the power to the media and to society and to the celebrities that are telling us that we need to look a certain way, right? When that never
Exactly.
was the case.
And the thing is, by harnessing those powers, by
Yeah.
taking that back, by advocating,
Yeah.
that is how you show that you love your soul. It is a
I love
round
how
robin.
full circle.
But that's how you do it. It's
Yeah.
so it starts with a little step.
Yeah.
Set a boundary. Set
100%.
one. In fact, this is my challenge to everybody.
I love a good challenge. Challenge me,
I
Kimberly.
I want you to make a response to this video.
Yeah.
Hashtag set your boundary.
Mm,
And I want to know what boundary you are going to establish.
I love that. Yeah.
That is the challenge of this episode. Is what is your boundary? It doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah.
I'm not saying get rid of all the toxicity in your life today. It'd be great if we could. It doesn't happen like that.
I know, right?
But
Snap your
establish
fingers.
one boundary.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as I'm not going to take phone calls after this hour.
Yeah.
That's a personal rule in my house. If my phone rings after 10 p.m., somebody better be in the hospital, bleeding, or dying. It better be a massive
That's a
emergency.
fair boundary. Yeah, I like that.
And it was an easy boundary for me to set. It was my mom's rule in the house. It became my rule.
Yeah.
And that is my boundary. That is
Yeah.
something that very rarely, and my daughter will occasionally call. My daughter is grown, and occasionally she will call me after that hour, or she'll text, "Hey, are you still awake?" Ring, ring, ring.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I have a job that I have to be
I
to.
love you, but
So unless this is real important, can we not?
yeah, and
My husband has
It's
the
hard to
same.
establish boundaries, right?
It is. It is.
Because sometimes it comes from like with all the love in the world, you still need to be able to say no to people, even the people that are important to you.
And saying no is so hard,
Yeah.
especially when you're a people pleaser. And I
Hmm.
admit there are
It
aspects of my
all,
life I am a
yeah.
people pleaser.
Yes.
But
Yes.
again, it comes down to what is my priority?
Yeah.
Am I going to put myself as a priority,
Yeah.
or am I going to let somebody else be more important than I am? Be more
Right.
important than my mental health,
Yeah.
than me getting sleep, or whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's
And
what it
at the end of
comes
the day,
down
like, what are you living for, right? You are like the most valuable asset that you ever have. And so if you're not taking care of yourself and you're not putting yourself first and you're not prioritizing yourself, then how are you going to be there for other people, right? How
to.
are you going to be of
Exactly.
service in any way?
You
Right? It's like
cannot
that
pour
the
from an
oxygen
empty
mask
cup.
theory, right? You put your mask on before you take care of others on the plane, right? For that
Yep,
reason, you have to take care of yourself first, right? In
exactly.
every capacity.
Exactly.
I agree.
Oh, this has been such an amazing conversation, you guys.
This
And I
was
would love
lovely.
to know what your thoughts are. What are you struggling with? What boundaries are you really trying to overcome that you
Hmm.
need to advocate for yourself?
Hmm.
Feel free to put a comment, hashtag replay with your comments, slide into my DMs if you want to. But let's really talk about this because it doesn't get talked about nearly enough. And we need to have these conversations. Larissa, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Of course. I have one final question for you. I
Shoot.
ask this of every guest. What do you love about yourself?
I love my um, willingness to persevere. And just, I love the fact that I don't give up through trials and tribulations, through the good times and the bad. I think that I always push on, and that's one of the biggest things that I love about myself.
I absolutely love how you just worded that. And I'm actually typing that in the comments. The willingness to persevere. And I'm
Yeah.
sure I totally just misspelled that, but that's okay.
No, you
It
got it.
happens. But the willingness to persevere, you guys, that's something we all need. We need to, we're all going to fail. We're all going to get knocked down.
Hmm.
It happens to all of us.
Hmm.
But it's what you choose to do when you get knocked down. Are you
Yeah.
going to stay down and then let people push you down even further?
Yeah.
Or are you going to get back up, dust off your butt, and take a step forward?
Totally.
Oh,
Absolutely.
love that. Okay, you guys, so that is it for today. I am going to be back here at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Is it 4 p.m.? Yeah, 4 p.m. Mountain Time with My Fat Perspective. I will be back at 5 p.m. Mountain Time with the Robopope and 7 p.m. Mountain Time with another episode of This Fat Girl Life. You guys, I hope you have an amazing day. Again, happy Halloween. Be safe, be well, be loved. Bye, guys.
Hi.